Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about a program that people have expressed in the comments. Like, man, I wish that it worked that way in the United States. They do this in Europe. In fact, in some places in Europe, it's mandatory. And it's something that people have wanted to achieve through legislation. And then when it finally comes time to actually write the law, they realize they can't do it because, well, it kind of infringes on people's constitutional rights in the U.S. It takes a lot to compel somebody to do this. And because it hasn't been able to be done through legislation, people think it can't be done. But it can. In fact, the program exists already. When you are talking about gun ownership in the United States, one of the first things that's going to come to your mind, one of the first topics that will come up is accessibility. If somebody is struggling, if they're having an acute mental health issue. And there's been a push to find some way to legislate that people give up their weapons if they're in this situation, give up their firearms. The problem with that is that, one, it takes a lot to compel somebody to surrender their firearms. Another is that it may actually serve as a deterrent to people seeking help because they don't want to give them up. In the gun community, image is incredibly important. It's incredibly important to a lot of people in the gun community. Appearing weak isn't something that most of them want because there is that stigma. It's not true, but the stigma exists, and it's still pretty prevalent in the gun community. So they may not seek help, which means the legislative remedies, well, they won't work. But what if it's voluntary? What if there's a network of federal firearms license holders, gun stores, that will hold your guns? And they have a program called Hold My Guns. What's more is that this program does not assume that you are struggling. There are hundreds of legitimate reasons to want to store your firearms off-site, outside of your home, for an extended period or a short period. You could be going on deployment, and since you're not going to be home, you don't want them stolen. Your cousin could be coming into town. He's bringing his kids with him. You just want to be extra safe. This program never assumes that you are struggling. This program provides the plausible deniability you need to get the firearms out of your house, out of your immediate accessible reach, and preserve the image. That image is not worth dying over. The problem is, in the United States, tons of people do every year because they don't want to seek help, because that mark, they feel that it would ride with them. This creates no mark. There's no paperwork of that sort involved. You surrender your firearms, give them to the gun store owner, and you can pick them back up at a later date. And when it comes time to pick them up, because it is a federal firearms license holder, they do have to make the phone call, make sure you're not a prohibited person. But other than that, that's it. There's nothing linking it to a mental health issue. That fact alone would increase use. That is going to save lives. This program will save lives if people know about it, if people talk about it. You may, if you have a friend who is in a situation, you might want to just mention how you stored your weapons there when you went on vacation. You don't have to push the issue. present them with the option. This is the type of responsible firearms community this country has been begging for. It exists. It's just not getting the press it should. Again, the name of the program is Hold My Guns. They have from my understanding, there's a website that will refer you to different license holders that participate in this. And I will find the link and try to put it down below. Again, this is people acting individually towards a collective goal outside of legislation. They're just doing what's right. They're doing what they should have been doing a long time ago. And this is one of those things. It will work if people know about it. But for people to know about it, we have to talk about it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.